Paige.
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm very good. Good to see you. How are you holding up? How are things going?
You know what? It's beautiful here. It's really, New York City is opening up and people are coming out of the woodwork and I'm going for a beautiful long walk every day. It feels good. It feels
Same.
really good.
Well,
How about you?
I'm speaking to you from Toronto, and so we're practically neighbors.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I cannot wait until I can get my butt in a plane and come back to New York. It's been way too long.
Oh
But
my
same
gosh.
thing, beautiful weather, and that's the one thing that's gotten me through this pandemic, even through the winter, like daily walks. You have to do that.
Oh my gosh, it's critical. It's so critical. Yeah, it's really but now it's so nice because there's this buzz back to New York City. I don't know if you're experiencing it in Toronto as
Not
well.
yet. Not
Not
yet.
yet.
Yeah.
It was such an interesting thing when the pandemic first happened. We stayed in the city the whole time um I would walk through the streets and like I realized that the soundtrack to New York City, the thing that creates that like that vibe is just like everyone talking and so everyone's masked up now and like
Yeah.
the rush of the cars and it was just sort of completely erased and it was such a wild haunting thing to experience but now it's back and buzz
Yeah.
buzz buzz.
Good, good. I'm glad because Broadway is the number one thing that I'm going to come back and I'm going to
Yes.
spend my money and I'm going to go see shows.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know. I'm coming for you. I'm so excited. We're all so ready. I just went to my first live theater event since the beginning of the pandemic. It's one of my favorite comedy troupes, Uncle Function here in New
Yeah,
York City. And it was so awesome. It's still half capacity, but it was
that's
so
okay. That's good.
it
It's
was
a good feeling. It's a good feeling, and you can start getting back to it. So I look
very
forward to that. Well, listen, it's always fun to see you on the screen, no matter what you do. And although this isn't a huge part, I know that you are really good friends with Mika, and I just spoke to her. She's so adorable. How can you say no to that girl? Honestly.
Oh my gosh, she's just one of the greatest people ever. And yeah, we met on a film in 2010 called Virgin Alexander,
Yeah.
and it was just true love. She's just such an awesome person, and when she started to develop this project, we were talking about it, and she's just such a powerhouse. She's small but mighty. That one, she's really something else. So it was such an awesome experience to be able to be a part of her directorial debut and this whole it was just oh yeah, it's just been a blast. I'm so proud of her.
Yeah, I was gonna. Well, I can see that because you are beaming on her behalf, and that's lovely to be such a good friend. But I was going to ask you because, listen, she started in this business very young, and she's worked very hard, and then she takes on this project. I love the fact that her dad is so involved with this too. By the way, I think that that's fantastic. He's so much fun to watch. But she is writing, producing, starring, directing. She probably took care of craft service. I mean, what was it like to
All of
watch
it.
her from on that level?
It's one of those things where we all sort of have those things that we're like, gosh, this might be a bit of a stretch. Am I stretching myself? If like we all have, whether it's writing a book or, and so to witness her doing this, it was literally like to be manifesting this dream of hers in such an efficient, effective way,
Yeah.
just piece by piece. It was super inspiring and it was igniting for me. So yeah, it was, she just did such an excellent job. And she just for years she was consistently working on it, consistently, chipping away at it. And you know
Yeah,
my gosh, she did it.
she certainly did. It's a lot of fun for sure. And your
Really.
character is hilarious. Okay, first of all, I would have been sold on the name Veronica Lake. I mean, come on. That's amazing.
I know. I know. I know. I loved it. I'm so here for it.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, screen siren, it's awesome. And you're playing this kind of hardworking but uppity producer. She's very fun. So, did you ad lib some of that stuff? Was it all on the script? Tell me about that.
No, that was all in the script. Mika, how she is as a director, and she's very, open to sort of whatever works. But she was pretty meticulous about, what she wrote out. And then we got on set. And obviously if something wasn't working, she was right there. So she would just sort of be like, let's try this. But most of it was scripted out.
Wow.
My scenes. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Paige, I was, talking about starting young in the business. Look, I've had the great pleasure over my career to talk to your dad many times, your sister. I mean, what a awesome
Uh,
family. And the one question I asked Mika, because she started so young, is, how did she stay so grounded? And then I look at your family, and you guys are like the loveliest people in the world. I mean, Ron's shot here in Toronto, and seriously, and I look at you guys and your parents, and they've really brought up some fabulous children. Was it ever like, I don't know, I don't even know what I'm asking here, but it's just nice to see, because it's rare. It's rare. What was it like growing up in that household?
well, chaos. It was chaos, but it was really fun. Fun, organized chaos. It was first of all, thank you so much for your kind words. That's so
Oh, it's honest, honest.
every single time I hear that, I'm sure to pass it along to my parents, and
Good.
I will do that tonight. But so yeah, thank you. And yeah, no, I mean, I think our our experience growing up was obviously super unique in a sense that we were hopping around on a bunch of different movie sets, and like, just living in different places. Uh, kind of we were set brats,
Yeah.
Um, but I feel like, my parents did a really good job of normalizing wherever they could. And um and so and they both, like, my grandparents are really great role models. And so
Yes.
I think, in the midst of like all the chaos and everything like that, of our lifestyles, behind closed doors from day to day, they just kept everything really, really level and steady and consistent. And like you said, like grounded. And so that's been very anchoring for all of us. And I think it's something, um, you know, that I'm just very grateful. I'm very,
Yeah.
very,
Yeah.
very
And
grateful,
and
because
and
I can see how it's, hard. It could be
yeah.
hard to raise kids in an environment like that.
100%. But it certainly stems from your dad, who started so young. And then you look at his role models, like your grandfather. And then he had, Andy Griffith. And then he goes to Happy Days, and he had Tom Bosley. And so he always had grounded people around him too. So I,
Yeah.
I would think that must have rubbed off on him, and passed on to you guys, I would think.
Yeah, 100%. And I think a lot of that, my granddad was very hands-on in sort of managing my dad's career early
Yeah.
on. And so if if my dad was going to enter onto a project, like he was really, if there was any sense of it not being in an environment that was healthy, or conducive to my dad's growth, or my uncle Clint's growth, who's, also
Yes.
super, super young, then it just wasn't worth it. They would back out. There's just more important things. But so I think that, yeah, my dad, and also like there is a lot of luck. My dad. It's so funny hearing you break it down. There are so many incredible.
And I left out a lot. I mean, I didn't even get to
Yeah.
his movie career, but I grew up with your dad. I mean, I grew up with him, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so for sure. But it is amazing to see, even to this day. Like, I always look forward to when I go, oh, it's going to be a Ron Howard movie, because I just know it's going to be top quality. And
Good hearted. It's always, always top quality, and it's always really good hearted and well intentioned.
yeah, and I love that your sister did that documentary, Dads, and I just thought it was so, open, and it was, it's just nice it's nice to get a glimpse of some normal people in Hollywood, because when you look at this movie that you're in, it does take a little poke at
Yeah.
some
Oh yeah.
the other side.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. I mean, I, I think again, like, definitely not excusing it. I think it's like, that the world is just chaotic, but,
Yeah.
the industry can be a real, um, it's just a whirlwind. And I definitely think it can make it really hard. But, Um, but they're also, I like to think they're also like, there are a lot of really good people as well, but
For sure. Yeah.
it's, there's definitely a lot of dysfunction,
Yeah,
I think
yeah, it's a tough business. There's no question.
it's a tough
And speaking of, I mean, you keep very busy. We just I spoke to you not too long ago for astronauts. That was what a fun,
business.
great family show.
Oh
What
my
else?
gosh, it was so much fun. It
Yeah,
was so, so much fun.
it looked
Yeah.
like the kids were great, and you had a great role in it. So what's next? Like, what's your criteria when you look for something?
Well, I really, I just like to there to sort of be, whether it's comedy or drama or anything like that. I just like for it to be something that just strikes a chord with me. So, you know, I really do. I have a couple things that are cooking right now
Good.
that I can't talk about yet, but they're cooking.
Okay.
And I think for me, a lot of what um, I'm really excited about is sci-fi and also voiceover work, more voiceover work.
Good
Um,
stuff.
so we'll
Oh,
see. Everything's just starting. At least in my from my end, everything's just kind of starting to get moving again.
yeah.
I got really, really lucky with the astronauts, the opportunity to work on that throughout the pandemic, and that was fantastic. I mean,
Yeah,
like what a relief as an artist.
for sure.
Um, but now I can tell, like it feels like things are just now starting. The wheels are now starting to really turn. So we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. I'm excited.
Well, we're excited to see you. Like I say, thank you so much for your time today. It's always a pleasure to
Okay.
talk to any Howard, as far as I'm concerned. So
Oh, high praise, high praise.
and come visit us in Toronto when borders open. But I'm sure as heck going to look you up when I come to New York. I can tell you that.
Oh, you better, you better. We'll get a good cup of coffee or like a
I
frozen
would be.
hot
I will hold you to that. I will hold it.
chocolate. Okay,
Have
please
a good
do.
one, Paige. Best
You
of
too.
luck, and always lovely talking to you. Thank you so
Aw,
much.
you too. Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.